absolute behemoths of the Counter-Strike world, about to lock horns. Bring me the energy, bring me the hype, let's make some noise as we kick things off in the Spodek Arena. FaZe Clan making their way towards the B side of the map, and the CTs will have to fall back, detecting the threat on the other side, but FaZe aren't slowing down here, Map.
Not at all. Keep in mind, Chad pointed out the change in guard on the B site, that it could be exploited. In this pistol, Simple's already over there. He's behind the smoke. He's fallen off. That may not be true when the guns are brought out, but for now it certainly is. The first kill, though, goes the way of Flamey. He already has the pistol. It's just enough to cut off one on the retake, but the bomb already planted for NaVi, and they just have to hold it off. That's not hard. Flamey's got another. It's going to be extremely difficult if Simple can get around from coffins without being spotted. Nubox is preoccupied. If he wraps in, they're both gone for Nemo, and they're going to push it all together. Rain can't do enough. Just to Nico. Third in the world last year, but he's got it to a one-on-one. Bombs deep. He's got a swing. They know that. Flamey. What a pistol. An ace. He gets an ace. Welcome to Spodek, everybody.
Unbelievable scenes. FaZe with the early commitment towards B. We saw that early smoke towards Spawn. They also get it down towards the coffins. The bombs planted, the kills are coming through, but Flamey takes down every single player. There's been question marks about his career over 2018. Did he still have it in him? And a resounding yes is found in the pistol round to kick off this quarterfinal. 5 kills. His teammates didn't even need to chime in at all. That's absolutely ludicrous. And just see him now find them one by one. And FaZe with the bomb down there. They could be tempted to buy up into this round, but I suspect we'll go for the AKs in the third and have everything they need. But what a way to kick it off.
And that bomb being so deep as well, Nico couldn't just take the shoulder peek. He had to wrap in. Flamey read that perfectly. This round, they do go to what was talked about, so it is going to be Flamey and Zeus on Banana. Flamey gets aggressive. Talk about Simple being the anchor, the best player on the team, sure, undisputedly. Electronic, he's going to always stay toward the pit, no question about it. But Flamey, if he's hitting shots out like that already, an ace to start things off, B's not going to be exploited at all.
Quite the statement. Here we have the Deagles here, and Rain pretty handy with them, it seems. He'll take down Zeus. Too aggressive there, perhaps, but Flamey does pick up the pieces. That's now 6 kills in 2 rounds. As it'll be Edward looking towards Boiler. That's a guaranteed frag for him. Dren goes down, and at this point, NaVi have the advantage. They don't have to overcommit. Flamey, I guess he's in the zone at this point, Matt. He wants to just keep finding headshots, and he's delivering as he keeps finding players as well. That's Nico being dropped. It's a 4 versus 2, and that's going to push them back towards middle. They have 1 smoke remaining here, but I don't think they'll be finding any more frags.
Crossfire firmly set up inside of the smoke. Edward's actually going to hold aggressively. That's going to dissipate. Soon we'll realize they're there, but he realizes it in the wrong way. Guardian with a spectacular shot, all resolved. 2 SMG kills. That'll build up the bank for both Electronic and Simple. And now we go 2-0. 1 bomb plant. Obvious decision.
The AWP is coming out early, I can confirm that. Guardian brings it out on the T side here on Inferno. Olofmeister to drop it, but still has enough for his armor and the AK. No grenades on him, but how powerful Guardian can be. One of the few AWPers that has tremendous impact on the T side of this map. They're up against the SMGs here, and you can see NaVi sending 3 players towards B. They're going to challenge for control here. They know they need it. Simple's found an early kill somehow at the start of the round. He takes down Rain very early on with that scope of the AUG, and still challenging for banana control. Flamey and Zeus keep pushing down.
Continue to be aggressive to set the tempo. That's important on Banana. We talk about that so much.
Absolutely. Want to assert your dominance there. Slow them down. If you get out of control time and time again, they'll have to adapt and change up their routine. Guardian flashed off. NaVi now with the advantage. That's all they wanted at the start of this round. They had a lack of firepower here with the 2 MP9s, but a nice early pick will get them right back in the driving seat. Nico's down to 13 HP as well. Their star player is certainly on a leash now.
So Simple to hold it. He won't have immediate aggression in front of him at the cubby, but Flamey is there toward the library. The problem is that's smoked off as well. Simple needs to make a decision. He might be too late. Smoke's already dissolved. He's got to go aggressively, and Guardian on the AWP was certainly ready for it, so they almost overstepped the mark. They stayed a little bit too long in that position, and Simple got caught in between. If anyone's capable, you'd think it'd be him, but this time not so much, fortunately. He's the only one down and the only one with any loss of HP on his team, and on the other side of things, we can tell it's not quite the same, is it? SMG, that'll certainly do. Good reaction from Olaf, but it's on to a Dren. New boy, new blood. Is he going to be on this team long? No one knows. This performance might be part of it. Electronic down inside of the pit. The anchor gone. An additional smoke. He fires into it. Follows up. Flamey falls as well. It's all on Zeus. Great turnaround. Great find from a Dren.
Zeus with the MP9 here, no kit, no grenades. I think Adren might have done enough. They've still got smokes, AGs, and flashbangs on the T side. Surely he recovers the AWP and maybe falls back here, but he has found a kit at least, so will he give it a go?
Yeah, and swapping to the M4. That's going to give him a little bit of range. Problem is that Olaf, he's the one on 28. He's got the AWP, and they've got a perfect crossfire built off of each other in the pit. You won't necessarily be able to swing from the cart, but it's going to be so hard to find one and get to where the bomb. And yeah, logical decision. It's still the lead for NaVi. 2-1. Try and take them down with the bomb on escape and flash out toward Library. He's well positioned. Great round. Adren finds the hat trick, keeps both alive, and it's their first.
Really wasn't looking good there at all for FaZe. They lose the opening pick, courtesy of Simple. It's all at the start of the round towards top and middle. At that point as well, they're losing players left and right. They have no banana control. Olafmeister picks up the AWP, and he pointed out a nice drop from him to deny the double kill. That allows Adren to at least explore towards the pit area. Up against Electronic there, hits the all-important shot and follows it up with 2 more as well. Fantastic stuff, and FaZe are on the board. But maybe NaVi can answer back. They have Force Ball here with 1 AUG, a UMP, and 3 pistols. Very basic utility. It's not looking too good for them at the start of the round, but what can they make of it?
Deagle top mid. Flamey the only gun carried over, so the Deagle certainly from Simple can find shots, but FaZe so individually skilled, they're not going to give it away easily. They all know those situations. They all know how Simple plays. They're familiar with him. Certainly Guardian is. Adren as well from the CIS region. Push down. Flamey finds one, but it's Olaf and Guardian to trade it off immediately. Both of these teams have had struggles. Both of these teams are capable of the top 4, capable of winning the whole event, let's be honest, but it can only be one between them, quite literally between this game, but also in that they are sort of the 2 outliers, the 2 that have been inconsistent of the top teams.
Yeah, you just look at the last game of the previous stage 4, FaZe against Complexity. Sure, it's a win. That's all that really matters, but it was not a clean one. That's a team you'd expect them to ravish, and they style on them almost, but they were on the ropes a few times there. So definitely kind of trying to find their form and how this team's going to play. As we head towards B, it will be Olafmeister. He seems to know exactly where Edward is. Finds the headshot. That's the B side open. A decent attempt from NaVi. They flashed over towards B and tried to trade out some kills. They've gone for 1 though, and it's just going to be Simple left in a 1 versus 4. They know exactly where he is. And Guardian, as we mentioned, very good on the T side of Inferno. He finds his 2nd frag of the round.
And what a rivalry this off battle would be.
Yes.
At a major in the Spodek, Katowice, Guardian, the man who left NaVi for issues perhaps playing around Simple, who wanted to take over that primary op from him, who kept purchasing it in rounds when Guardian was already holding the weapon, and it made things awkward. Now he gets to go directly against him. This is a grudge match between the 2.
NaVi will have to wait though. Fully coherent, a 5-man B stack coming through. They have 1 flashbang. This will be a little setup. They'll wait to see if it's a B rush. If it is, great, they'll fight it. If they get nothing at the start though, flash over, challenge with maybe 3 or 4 players and see if they can find an AK-47. You're probably not going to win this round unless FaZe do actually rush into the B site. But if you can steal away an AK and save that, that's at least something.
Top side of the wall already held too, so even if they want to go deep utility again, there's going to be issues. And the stack spotted. Olaf knows it, shooting gallery, and Guardian, 4th kill.
That's the sort of round that gets everyone fired up. It might seem like, yeah, it's only against pistols and no armor. The fact it's such a clean sequence, it gets everyone in the mood. It gets them fired up, ready to go. As NaVi now still clutching at straws financially. Electronics already burst into the round. They got nothing out of the previous. They cannot afford an AWP yet. They can barely afford 5 rifles. We'll see what the overall complexion of the round looks like towards the end after purchasing here. Zeus might want to drop down to an SMG and get all the utility. They have 4 smokes, some HEs and flashbangs, no incendiaries, no kits. That is a massive deal on Inferno. It's all about locking the T's out and trying to segregate them as they commit. And you just don't have the incendiaries to really do that right now. FaZe with a huge upper hand here in round number 6.
Simple plays ledge. Quick drop. Guardian still holds out in front. It's flashed in toward the top side of the mid. Simple spots a shoulder as well. Already falling off that angle. He's still going to commit to the position, but it's not quite as catchy, if you will. It's not going to catch anyone off in terms of being out of the crosshair placement. Electronic has to hold the door.
This is the danger man right here. Adren, we've seen what he's capable of towards the apartments. He's managed to get himself right to the end. He will stay there now, presumably, and wait for his teammates to commit towards B. I'm not sure that's exactly where the Molotov to go, but still, it shows presence, and Electronic reacting to it. Starting to fall back now. This will be a B finish from what we can see right now. You can see they've got the banana control, the bombs at the bottom there, and they're setting Nico up, potential Molotov towards Emo. But for now, just exploring their options. They know they're pretty safe to actually take these picks because the money's low for NaVi. They don't necessarily have the AWP. As they feel comfortable at B now. starting just to fall back. Some grenades, flashbangs, make sure there's no information available for the CTs whatsoever.
Guardian nearly got one already. Edward does well to get away. They're going to back off in the site, set a crossfire. Meanwhile, over at B, Trent's got simple. That's not at B. I was going to mention the fact that they're still hunting with Olaf alone, and they'll bring the bomb back his direction, but it's a Dren that comes filtering out of apartments. That leads them elsewhere, and Rain's doing enough. He'll stay. He'll cut off rotation. Second one down. This should be a round. It's all on Zeus, and Zeus has yet to find a kill in this game. Time to find one now. He's got Guardian down. 8 seconds. Time is the problem. Rain sneaks in. He'll go. Oh, they just got it down in time. 2 seconds left. Rain sneaks in and spots it. Now they know where he is, but likewise, Zeus is completely locked off inside of Ruins. He's got to look both directions, and he's already considering the possibility that they'll wrap around. Burrow in toward the sandbags is the only option to not have a player at your back. He's gone down. Electronic gets one, but that's going to be the round. He's got to back out of it, so only one kill for Electronic. Zeus does what he can. It's now FaZe extending the lead. 4 on the T side. Remember, they picked this. This was not expected pre-match that they would pick Inferno against NaVi, and they have, and they're showing why.
That's unfortunate for Zeus there. With 10 seconds remaining, maybe the one kill is enough there. I think if you're going to win the round, though, he really had to commit to that. He just swing out and just cause chaos and hopefully steal another frag away. Maybe too passive, let them plant, and it will be FaZe picking up a very clean round there. We kind of broke it down as it was developing. The fact they got the B control at the start of the round, CT's no information there. They go back towards middle, push them back towards the A side. And Dren gets a kill in the apartments. They go for a late execution towards B, hit the shots required, and trade out with Zeus. And when the bomb goes down, all bets are off. Remember, NaVi didn't have the utility or the defuse kits to even challenge a retake there. Yes, they're making an expensive round, but ultimately they're going to be eco here as it goes 4-2 in favor of FaZe on the T side of Inferno here. Electronic save the AK-47, should yield a partial buy around it, certainly not a force. Deagles and CZs will be coming out. And we're not seeing much interaction from Kane on that side. You see Yanko getting stuck in, making sure no mistakes are made here, and they can guarantee themselves this round. Understanding the tendencies of Electronic, where he's likely to push, you should see a very slow default here from FaZe, just waiting to see any sort of aggro at the start.
Get it in now. First time out gone. 4 each side. Get back into it immediately. FaZe in the lead. Electronic, the only gun carried over the AK-47. Be interesting to see. A lot of players still picking up the AK, a lot willing to stay with the AUG in those situations.
Absolutely. Certainly some different ideas from team to team. Flamey takes a lot of damage at the start of the round there as the grenades and Molotovs made their way towards the top of B. CTs, like we said, didn't force them to get maximum loss bonus in the next round, so they can justify going down to, I would say, about 2K. On the CT side, it's a little bit daunting going down to 1,200, but we'll see if they can cause any sort of damage here. It's going to be 4 players stacked towards B again. It's the second time NaVi have tried this approach. Will this be more successful this time? They smoked the bottom, and unfortunately, FaZe have already got CT spawned, so they're going to catch these players in transition if they do rotate. Either way, Rain, all that was his, didn't actually do any damage at all there. A simple retreat on 100, but now down to 46.
Guardian opens it up on the AWP, though, and Olaf was waiting the whole time. Bottom side of middle, he gets one.
That's your cue now, go to war.
Yeah, absolutely. You found the AK. Electronic gets at least a kill. That'll keep him alive. Simple. He didn't realize, fully gray screened, as you often are in those smokes. Didn't realize he was actually protruding through.
That's Nika getting the bomb down. You can see his teammates already established in library / CT spawns. Go for a nice open plant here. Make sure there's no chance of the CT stealing this one away. And to be fair, NaVi came into this with not much, 1 AK. They potentially leave it with 2. That's if Flamey can keep disciplined here. He doesn't need frags here, really. The FaZe money won't be affected too much. If you can bring 2 AKs in, it's going to boost yours. You potentially invested a bit too much in this particular round. So bringing another rifle to the table will certainly help things out.
Check to CT, and then I thought he was going to go all the way back down to T stairs just to make sure. The fact that they've actually locked him in, Flamey and Electronic aren't going to be able to do anything of this. If they had a caught one on the way by, maybe Flamey gets a kill. You get another gun carried over. Well, AK certainly is fine. Nico wants to try and get it out of their hands. He'll go searching. They assumed it was B. It's not, and it's now 5-2 for FaZe. So again, just running with this at this point. They did not win the pistol. Keep that in mind. The only 2 CC-sided rounds so far were the pistol and the subsequent anti-eco round. So the fact of the matter is, FaZe have 5 in a row. Maximum loss bonus for NaVi means Simple's naturally going to bring out the AWP.
and their AWP Guardian actually has $10,000 residual cash after the reinvestment here. With CZ as well, he's got plenty of cash for the rest of this half at this point. It's up to Simple now to make his mark on the server and show us why he's considered the best player in the world, because he's got his work cut out from his teammates with bare bones utility. Yes, they have a couple of kits, but it's not the full buy, even with 2 saved AKs. Rain working through the bedrooms here, and Nico is actually in front of the CT smoke. Zeus might not be aware of it. As a Molotov comes in, needs to be very careful here. You can see the flashbang Molotov combo is quite a potent one. As well from Nico, come hunting. This could be dangerous for NaVi.
Zeus holding very aggressively at barrels. The up-close position is the problem. Olaf flash. He doesn't pick it yet. He can go now because Nico's done damage. They walk over each other. Inevitably, Nico takes down Olaf. It was well intended, fortunately not well executed, but it's pulled back to a 3-on-3 as a result. Edward will welcome that as he takes down Rain Simple. Tries to fire in through the smoke and flashes himself back through to get to Ruins. No, he's not.
He's going for it.
Oh, he might. Does it reveal too much? Does it give it away? He's considering it because, yeah, he's alone on B. If he fires that shot and anyone is pushed through to CT, he's done for. So he smartly backs off and bides his time, but he still gives it a crack. He still wants more.
I don't think it's worth it at this stage. You can see his teammates really not causing much damage here at all. Adren just absolutely destroys Edward. That's going to be the cue. You can see how disappointed Simple is. He's not getting a chance to do anything at this stage because his teammates, unfortunately, there, the CT side, they're using the AUGs at the position like the barrels, and they're right-clicking the scope, and it makes a noise. Every time you click in the scope, it actually gives your position away. Olaf was behind the half wall there, listening out for it. One flash over, they take 2 of them down. Yes, they kill each other in the process, but the round was already done. He gets 2 kills like that, and a quick entrance towards the B side. The CT's got very little chance of answering back. And just to know, Simple lost the AWP right at the end there, so that's a huge pickup. And these kills happen sometimes. You'd rather kill your teammate and the CT than the CT killing both of you at the same time, right? So that's always worth it.
You'd love for it to not happen, but yeah, absolutely. It's a just cause.
It absolutely is. Round 9.
It seems like Fnatic's lost a fan, Ents has gained a new one.
I was looking at the scoreboard, so
Don't worry about
I missed it.
Dren, what is he up to? He's still running around the spawn. I think they dropped him some utility and he can't find it. Either way, Olaf's already up toward Banana. It'll slow things down. They'll settle into a default off the back of that. Maybe with just the Deagle to work with. Is it better or worse for Zeus? He doesn't have the range, but he certainly could try and mow them down if they work up, and the fact that he's got the CZ. Interesting decision to leave both pistols alone on B at this point as well. You'd think that a rifle, at least one, would be there, considering it's such a tight choke point.
This round is still in contention. NaVi actually quite the fighting chance considering they have 3 rifles. No kits, and again, struggling utility becoming a bit of a headline here on the CT side for them. They will have 2 players positioned in towards B. That is going to be Flamey and Zeus, of course. Rain towards Boiler Room, Adren in the apartments once more. We've seen this approach a few times now, just showing a little bit towards the apartments before they head back towards B. A Molotov towards a pit, a flashbang out just to bait out some utility and deny them having so much of the retake. Right now, if all 5 players of FaZe make their way through towards B, they'll only find 2 players there, but rotations are coming through. This should be a Molotov towards the emo position, the back right. Any boost player on half wall there. 30 seconds remain. They don't really have much of a say to fall back, but I say that, Rain actually has full mid control, so they could go for a slight execution here, keep those 4 players locked in towards B, and then send everyone in towards the A side very quickly. It's going to come down to the timings here. You can see how much interest from the CTs there are here. You've got to assume with 15 seconds remaining, this is the final play, but it's not.
Brilliant maneuver. It's absolutely sold it. They've sent them all over toward B. The only one left at the side of the site is Edward, but he nearly got away with it. If he'd slid out and found the second, dropped the bomb down, that would have been it. Nico wouldn't have had time to plant. There was no way to recover.
Perfectly done by FaZe. The fact they give themselves enough time to counter for that initial pick from Edward there. They trade out the kill, still 6 seconds remaining. Sure, that's scary, but they plant the bomb. It all comes together, and you kept 4 players on the B side there. That is really quite impressive. It was so convincing. NaVi just didn't have the resources to think otherwise. He had 4 players there. You got Molotov, smokes, flashbangs coming in. You got to give it a go. It was just a very well-called round there from FaZe. It's going to be 7-2 in their favor on the T side of Inferno here. Adren finding 2 kills once again, just to know that.
6-2, it grows larger yet again for FaZe. 2 AK saved it. CTs have at least been getting guns carried over. The problem is that even though now we're up to such a massive wealth of the bonus, 7 rounds in a row. They can't do much with it. This time they'll get the AWPs back out, but it's every second round CT at best.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do they go double? They can in this situation.
I don't think so. We'll have a look.
I think there's an AK down, so there's a second AK carried over, so it should be single op and an AK.
Simple 2 and 7. Zeus is 1 and 9. It's the fragging that's already falling apart at this point. Simple unable to show us what he's made of on this map, and that could cause some frustration. He might overcommit to some positions at this stage, but for now, looks towards the end of pass, nothing there, and focusing towards second mid, but not as aggressive as you'd expect.
Oh, no.
That's more like it. Zeus will get his second frag of the game. Can he get out safely, though?
It's quite clever to follow the Molotov down as well, because Nico, he couldn't snuff the wick in time. It's immediately him gone. Zeus gets the kill. Flamey, he follows it up. Olaf's gone. A change of pace from NaVi, and it's over toward B. It works out brilliantly. Bomb still down, bottom T stairs. Guardian will call for Adren to rotate back over in support. The op naturally waits toward the arch side. Minute to work with. They could certainly try and counterpick this. And Guardian, we talk about it often, is the best T-sided op on Inferno. Not an easy role to have. I mean, it's not like you're presented kills anymore. It's not often you see that mid-peak to stairs where they get there first. They've got to go aggressive, and it's exactly that. Flamey down. No rite of passage as of yet because Simple's already on rotation, but he's considering the possibility that this is a ruse. Zeus goes back sight. Simple's going to play this presumably from CT. Smoke down, though, he's going to have to rotate all the way around to the coffins.
40 seconds remain. FaZe don't have to commit to this. They're right back in this round now. Zeus will throw a flashbang. They're going to get in a decent position, trying to buy space and time for Simple at this stage, and he gets caught out. Can Zeus buy multiple frags? It's all falling apart. This was a 5 versus 3. All of a sudden, it tips on its head, and it's now NaVi on the back foot. Adren, nice little off angle here. You're not going to preempt this, and he'll take down Edward. No problem whatsoever. It's electronic. Left with absolutely nothing to work with here. 1 AK, no positional control. And he'll just have to push through the smoke and hope for the best here. That is a nightmare for NaVi, Map.
That's excruciating as well, because finally they had guns again. The op from Simple, it was on rotation, double smoke down. He's still 2 and 8. He still hasn't got anything going. FaZe are just running with Inferno. Anticlimactic so far at best, as Electronic gets rain at very least, but what's that for at this point? Consolation for what? Because they know exactly where he is. Adren's already on him. You can hear Adren, that's fine. But without, to be fair, without Flamey's pistol ace, which ultimately bailed them out of that round as well, this is a 9-0 game T-side Inferno.
5 on 3, and that's the kind of play I'm talking about with Simple. Yes, he's trying to back up his teammate there, but he goes through the smoke, and there's no flashbang down, there's no incendiary in front. He goes down to quite a relatively easy kill, and then Zeus is left isolated, who isn't performing right now, and he was unable to get more than his opening frag of the round. A double orb setup comes in. This is the Hail Mary play from NaVi right now. You can see Yanko preempting this. He knows something's afoot. NaVi are desperate at this point. They can afford 2 AWPs. Flamey has been performing well with the secondary sniper, but is it enough? Simple just doesn't look himself right now. He hasn't barely had any impact whatsoever. 2 and 8. They'll purchase up everything they can. More out of desperation than a strategized affair. We'll see what they can do. Zeus had dropped the AWP. Does he only have the USB for this round now? Because of that, surely he has a drop waiting for him. We'll see. Do or die time now for NaVi. Need to step up. There is an AUG for him, so the buy's not too bad, all things considered. That's because the CTs keep saving AKs over and over again. Sure, they're not finding round victories, but they're giving themselves a fighting chance here. And still, it's going to be a difficult one.
Desperate times, double up for Flamey. He's going to hold it. Zeus playing passively. He's going to fall back to a position where he can actually flash Flamey in or at least get him out of the situation. But interestingly, he's actually going to rotate. He's not that far down Banana. It's not like they've had information, and it has been a problem for them.
Well, at least they've got strong numbers towards A now. They're not going to have a weak B and a weak A. Flamey with the AWP at least can get information, but that's designed to push him back. You can see now he might struggle and call for Zeus to rotate back through CT spawn. It's exactly what's happening here. Flamey with a nice idea, though, but it is very committed. Will he fire off the shot? Not quite. He's going to fall back to the safety of the side for now.
Smoke off Zeus inside of it. Doesn't want to extend beyond, but it's Olaf that's alone at this point. He's trying to cause chaos, trying to lock them onto the B site. Doesn't want to leave them with the option to rotate. Zeus has read the fact that it was only a single AK firing. He's actually going to get towards CT. They give up Arch momentarily because Edward will play in conjunction with him. The smoke's still down on that side. It's not like they could really justify going through yet. Instead, it's just going to hold mid-wall. Guardian on the bomb toward the A site aggressively, but correctly. And Simple still lurks inside with the AWP. Nico around, it's Edward. Impressively with the UMP at that range that finds the headshot first. Opening kill, Simple's following it up. Now he's rolling as Adren drops. And Zeus still holds. There's no one over toward B. They've not fallen off of it. They haven't come up with an alternative motive in this round. It's still with 15 seconds, all or nothing on the A site. They can justify going late because they've got money. Rain, he's gonna go. They're gonna feel like Noah on an overcast day because the rain won't stop. He's swinging through. Simple finds one, but finally it's turned around. Simple shuts down Rain, and it is 8-3.
Felt like it was gonna happen again. The advantage found there for NaVi almost comes to a crashing halt, but they start to find some unified kills. They're going to get together and find those crossfires we're looking for on the A site. It's Simple stuck in the corner of the AWP, but finally starting to deliver now. That's much more like it. As you see him hold his position. This is a shot that really seals the deal there. Lovely work towards Rain, who is on an absolute tear. It's round 12, and NaVi might be on their feet at this stage. You can see what it means to Simple, as we'll have the 3 rifles and the double orbs once again.
That's the start, though. There's still a long way to go. 3 in that round. It's certainly what he needs to get motivated. And the double op once more. Flamey finds Olaf this time. A little more aggression on him than the last round, however. And Flamey seems to welcome it. In a position where Guardian can certainly see him. I wouldn't have been surprised at all if Guardian was able to locate him on the backside of the wall after the jump, but he elected to fall off the logs and threw his own aim off. He still tagged him. He's got him. He's on a 44. And he's gonna look for another angle. He's got him. Follow up. Flamey down. He was hit, but he's on to 11, Guardian, and that's good enough for Nico. He'll take it. He'll open it up, and Molotov's to clear his angle. Look inside of the sights. Take the fight. Zeus down.
So surprised with Flamey's play, but you got the opening pick. You've been tagged as well. Just fall back. Maintain the advantage. It's all going to come falling apart here as Edward does what he can, but it's a 3 versus 1. Electronic couldn't be further away at this stage. He's in towards the pits on the A side of the map. They've got no chance. They had the advantage again, but overstaying their welcome there. Flamey, once he gets hit, has to get back and play off his teammate there, because you see Zeus, he is not ready to go in a 1v3 against FaZe right now. He's barely part of the fight. He's getting mowed down every time he swings out, so he needs to play with the teammate at the back of the side, but maybe feeling he's got too much responsibility and has to fight a little bit more because the teammates aren't posting the numbers they need. And that's a harsh reset for the CTs now. They'll get $1,400 per player on the side of NaVi. Electronic will save an AK once again, or will he? You can see Rain's going for another hunt. He's getting a ton of frags at this point. 10 for Rain so far. And it's up to Electronic. If he saves the AK, there might be something to say about the next round, but this won't be enough cash to justify a full investment. We'll see what they're left with. It goes 9-3 now. In favor of FaZe and their T side of Inferno. So it's turning into a bit of a brawl here. We're seeing a lot of aggressive peaks and some success, but that was a point Flamey had to get out of there before he was dropped, and Edward got one. Wasn't enough. B side open, round done. Well, they're taking a pause here, though. Top of the charts is going to be Flamey with 3,700. Simple 1,800, and they are going to take the eco from what I can see. Simple fully invests, okay. A last-minute decision by him. He goes 5-7, helmet and a smoke. I guess they need a miracle at this stage. This might be a...
Jen going again toward the apartments. They've slowed the pace considerably. It's not like they're assuming they could just get in there for free, and knowing up against pistols, it's likely that someone has pushed up. They get one on Rain. There was an option to swing for 2 because they were looking down the hallway, but the kill to Rain now gives Adren all the access that he needs. 3 inside the hallways, presumably. You know how this will go. It's explosive, aggressive, and first and foremost, take down Zeus.
4 bullets left in that PT-50. Has to fall back here, but Zeus does have a chance to cause a little bit of damage here, but there's the Molotov to take vision away from him. CT's focusing towards middle, but Guardian very patiently will hold the angle, drops Flamey, and they've got a 5 versus 3. Electronic has left the B side open, no one there whatsoever. And this is looking like another guaranteed round for the international roster here. FaZe will help themselves to an open B side.
Yeah, take back any struggles they had in the group stage. They've rectified those, it seems, over the 3 or 4 days off. This looks excellent so far. And we thought Inferno might be the 3rd map in this series. Not that it would be Dust 2. We thought Dust 2 would actually be the pick from FaZe. So this is pretty impressive by them. It's caught NaVi off absolutely.
They weren't ready for this, and remember, they won the pistols. It's not they got a bad start, they actually had the dream start. They got the 2-0. They went into that 3rd round, yes, with unfortunate circumstances, had a couple players in MP9s, but that wasn't really the catalyst to their demise here on the CT side. They will be holding on to the AK. pretty much have to at this point. Electronic's going to have to drop for them going forward. As he holds towards the underpass. He doesn't have to find kills here, but I guess he wants to find his teammates and have a rifle to take to the next round. It's a nice shot. Doesn't get them anything.
Yeah, very little to work with. So this operation's been abandoned once again. Just sit back, try and gain guns. Electronic has the AK. They won't get much more than that, unfortunately. Even that single kill doesn't yield anything because they held the bottom of the banana. Zeus tries to fire in. Rather optimistically, if I'm honest. And it's double digits, T-side, FaZe. Spectacular start. Remember, this was the lineup in part. Obviously, Kerrigan has since departed very recently and Adren's come in, but this was the international lineup that was built with one goal and one goal only, and that was to win a major, to give Nico the major, to make sure that they dominated, and then Astralis seemingly took that storyline from them, and they've fallen shy time and time again.
We talked about that complexity game at the start of this broadcast, and we said that it was Nico that really kind of stood up towards the end of Dust 2 especially. He's currently 3-8. It's his teammates who have all got 10 or 11 kills between the four of them, so they're stepping up. He doesn't have to do that much. He's calling a great game right now. We're seeing some great mid-round calls with the FaZe coming in. It looks like a great effort overall. They've got double digits and maybe a bit more on the T side of Inferno. That's pretty unheard of at this level. As we'll see now, the CT scramble to pick up another round, but this is a nice, fast adaptation from FaZe. It's going to be throwing in a bit of a different approach as they go very, very fast towards the end of the apartment, but the CT's finally showing us they can keep up as Electronic will find his second frag of the round. It's a 4 versus 1, and Nico's all the way in towards B, but he'll be dropped by Flamey as well.
First time we've seen the AUGs really prevalent on the CT side, just based on money. Obviously, they were waiting to get the double up out. They saved the number of AKs. Finally, they work for them, and they get 4 on the boards. Back to the point as well about FaZe, before even the acquisition of Olaf and Guardian, and they still had Alu and Keo. They're no stranger to this stage. They were the favorites against Astralis 2 years ago in this final, and they lost. It was a grueling series that went the distance, and Astralis walked away with that one as well.
Looking to prove themselves here. It was a rocky road towards the playoffs, but they're here now and looking incredibly sharp. Final round, as we get into number 15 here. CTs with the AWP once again. Simple has 6 kills, 11 deaths. Not the performance he's looking for, absolutely not, but maybe he can change things up here as he holds towards B. He'll be happy to actually stay in his position now. We saw Flamey hold the same angle before. Will Simple get a bit more luck.
They're just waiting it out. Flame's already down, Edward. Deploys the smoke. Molotov down Cubby and the front of the arch. So Edward forced to fall back, as we can see on the X-ray.
Now if they can get this round, 10-5, win the pistol in the second, might be a conversation to be had, but this one slips by. I'm not sure NaVi will have enough to actually push forward. As Rain again has been so deadly on this T side. That AK-47 finally showing us what it's capable of. As now he looks for his second kill up against Zeus, takes a bit of damage, decides to fall back. Wise move.
But they've hatched another plan when the first fell through, because it's simple. Over toward B. Well, he falls back after the first. He's alone. Slip shot Cavalier. He tries to peek it again, and he will. He absolutely will. Half human, half machine, looking straight through the lens. Simple finds a round again. NaVi on 5.
He wakes up in the final round there, just in time to save the day. 10-5 might seem like a scary scoreline, but they can do this now. It's enough, just about enough here on their CT side. We'll see if they can do it after this break. Do not go anywhere.
10-5, FaZe start off brilliantly, I have to say, inside of the Spodek. Our first semifinal of the Intel Extreme Masters here in Katowice for 2019. It's not necessarily the game we expected. That said, NaVi's certainly shown signs of struggle, but on the CT side, winning a pistol, only getting 5 rounds total.
It's not ideal, but certainly recoverable. The main telling from that first half, I feel like, was the star players on either side didn't turn. We've got Nico, 3 kills, and Simple was right down there at 5 towards the end until he had that great showing on the last round. But it's all to play for still. If NaVi can pull this round together, they can certainly start thinking about getting 3 rounds on the board and then see what happens after that.
And Nico, that's a talking point. I mean, this seems to be the perceived solution to all the issues, to all of his pride, you could say. I mean, the fact that he's no longer getting kills is an issue in itself, right? If he wants to win game lead, if they think that's the answer, he still needs to perform because he is the 3rd best player of 2018. He's been on everyone's radar for so long. The fact they're winning is, yeah, absolutely, that's spectacular, but it still is cause for concern.
It's going to be the big execution here. All 5 players for NaVi have to go in now. Smoke towards Spawn and Coffins, but the CT's ready for that. They'll be jumping on top of the Coffins now and seeing if they can get the first kill. But what a response that is. Look at the perfectly thrown smoke. That's going to cause absolute chaos here as NaVi commit now.
Adren just waiting for it, just dancing back and forth. Wants to figure out the side they'll enter into. Baits them to Nico, but Nico gone. It's now all onto Adren. So proficient with the pistol, but you know who is? A man who got an ace last time. He's got 2. He got the only 2 for NaVi so far, Flamey. As the bomb gets planted inside of B, Olaf's going to take the long rotation, the flank from behind. Zeus is watching it. And it's Guardian that wants Rain to work with him so he can get in from Ruin, so he can take some of the attention away. Zeus gave it up. Zeus thought he'd cleared Banana. He hadn't. Olaf was in behind the wall. They're going to think that's wide open, but now they realize with the other kills, they've all turned around. Flamey's looking for double ace in the pistol. Double ace in the pistol! Both of them! 10 kills, 2 pistols, 2 rounds for NaVi!
I've never seen that before. Ever. Back-to-back aces and pistol rounds. Flamey is worth his weight in gold right now. It was the only real talking point they had in the first half, as they had such a convincing pistol, and they've done it again in the second. I can't believe it. Is that enough? CTs are going to force buy in the second round. It can be a very strong approach here with the CZ. The smoke's treated like a gun round. And you can see if NaVi will crumble at all. They've been given a lifeline back into this game. Molotov towards the top of B, trying to slow down the aggressive push towards that side of the map. There's actually 3 CT players waiting on the other side of the flames. Electronic flashed off. Need to be very careful here, but luckily the rifles will prevail so far. Lots of damage done on the T side.
He goes back around. He will get 1. Deagle, Zeus was low. Couldn't respond, though. They weren't quite ready. Stuck inside of the cubby. Simple didn't get a return angle with the AK, and a smoke now down for Rain. He'll fall off of things. You know who won't? Nico. He's got the up-close pistols, so switch it out. Let them bait each other in.
This is scary for NaVi now. You got 2 players low, even lower now. Edward down to 22. Electronic, great shot towards Nico. That might save things.
Edward holds off on Olaf as well. They converted the last pistol. That looks more fancy than really it was. He just fired through and knew where he was, but it's nonetheless a kill again, so it's going to cost them a bit of money. They did survive the anti-eco in the last half as well. This time with a force buy coming out from the CTs, it could amount to more. It was 2 rounds only. This time we could look toward 3 potentially for NaVi, and if we do that from 5 rounds, we get to 10-8. That's a 2-round spread. It's absolutely a wide open game.
Absolutely. And it is going to be FaZe giving this round up. Rain with 2 kills in the round, the only 2 they got. You can see Edward and Simple are the walking wounded right now. They can't really do much at this stage, but Rain hungry for another frag here potentially. Remember, it's $600 per kill with the SMG he currently has. Problem with low HP himself. Might just want to consider saving it. Not really worth going down, at least for the UMP. He can drop his deagle. They'll have a little bit of firepower. Probably not enough to win the round, but it's something. As he needs to be very careful here. Just going to be holding on to the UMP. But looks of things, down to 43. He will survive. And NaVi, more importantly, they will as well. They managed to negate the force by a FaZe clan there. It was looking so touch and go, but some nice shots from Electronic. Fall back towards A and take down the solo player waiting on the other side of the map. NaVi are on for 3 in a row here. So the deal presumably dropped. That's going to go in the hands of Nico. Rain will keep his UMP. They have a smoke as well. So it's not a full eco, but not much better than that.
It's really not. Guardian already tagged as well by a nade. Doesn't have armor, so it was quite a distance from him, but nonetheless still put him down to 71. A hold from middle. on the T side, and Edward will follow up the nade. That one was a massive amount of damage. 71, I just said. That nade just absolutely erased him.
He's gone now, but not forgotten.
I was going to say, we'll remember him. We'll keep him in our thoughts.
Edward, though, starting to warm up into this series, but here comes Nico. There's one man you don't want to start finding headshots like that. Unbelievable scene. Surely he's done at this stage. Electronic takes him down, but still a chance for a Dren here, but he's taken the 57 HP.
Wanted to get the gun. Importantly as well, there's a smoke down that was on that corpse. If he hadn't been able to pick up that, it would have been more dissuasive toward the B side. He would have just been able to hold off that extra little bit. The fact that they've actually fallen back off of it, he's got the smoke. He's gone anyway. Simple finds him, building up yet more kills for him. He sits now just to note on 11, so is starting to get his feet moving.
That's what they need.
Flamey tops the leaderboard, not surprisingly, but it's only 17 when you consider he got 10 in 2 rounds.
Yep, good point. Olaf can still win this, by the way. It's not impossible.
Well, they've gone directly toward him. They haven't gone back over to B where it was open, and he was well aware of it, but they cleared it systematically, all 3, and Bomb, just for the extra money, goes down in the hands of Simple, and as mentioned, we are now at that 2-round game.
They absolutely are. There's Nico showing us what he's capable of. Round 19. Remember, this is a very CT-sided map, so it's still quite the advantage for FaZe. They finally will put together a decent amount of resources. They've got the double orb set up in the hands of Nico and Guardian. There's 1 kit available, so they want to get a couple of rounds on the board before they're fully equipped here, but NaVi looking to continue their streak as they head towards B once again. More than happy to challenge it. It's one of the calling cards of NaVi. They'll always be at the top of Banana, nading, pushing through. Normally Zeus leading the charge, but this time it's Simple as he tries to nade off Nico here. He'll push him off the angle, but doesn't do too much damage at that Molotov. But he gains some access. They'll try to boost it up as they do officially have Banana control with 1 minute 30 left on the clock. So great real estate picked up.
Spodek comes to life. What an absolute privilege it is to be in this building for all of us, for everyone. Shot down Electronic. He'll open it up. It's Nico, the man with the pistol last time that's gone already. And Electronic, he's going to go in. He's already through smoke. I don't even think Adren is aware he's hurt him. Gets behind the pillar just enough. Not quite as the M4 finds one, but it's Zeus to return. So, man, you'd love to get trades in every situation, surely. It builds him up just a bit, smoke down.
They should save at this point. I think they're going to. They still have the lead. They don't have to win this round. If Adren gets 2, they probably go for it. But a 4 versus 3, we've got the AWP on the retake as well. There's potentially more smokes and Molotovs to come through. Just take the round, and it's going to be NaVi finding their 4th now in the second half. It's going to be 10-9. This would be absolutely astonishing if they could pull it right back for a 10-5 deficit on their CT side. It's Guardian, Olaf, and Rain holding on to the weaponry they have, and a decent amount of kit as well. You can see Olaf Meister have all the grenades as he falls back. So the round is guaranteed at this stage. It's up to Simple just to clear out the ruins and make sure everything's taken care of. Nice position from Rain. That's going to get him a kill at least. As he'll find Flamey. Wants to drop down now. He knows he's a prime target for the terrorist forces. And they'll saddle up on the bomb site here, deny any sort of access. But NaVi, they win the round and keep 3 players up as well. Does Edward commit to this? Will he go down? He survived. So 3 survive on either side of the equation. It's FaZe, though, losing their lead as it goes 10-9. And they do have enough to buy into this, but that could be a problem going forward if they keep forcing around these sort of situations.
We might have a small technical. I will say I applaud Valve. Something interesting's happened in the game. They won't be able to see it in the audience, but Olaf's left, and it put bot Olaf in the game. So yeah, it's actually putting a bot in for their name now, which is kind of a cheeky little touch, but we'll get things back underway, certainly.
One thing I wanted to point out was when Simple was on the CT side there, he said in the pre-game interview, he feels like if he dies early on in the round, it's going to be very difficult for them to pick the round up in future. If he goes down early, he feels like he maybe can't take the same risk he's usually presenting at the start of each round. It seems like a very caged game so far. I haven't seen any unbelievable moments from him, and just punishing the opposition, showing that lack of respect. He's almost being jolted around the map there. You can see FaZe giving the game plan to present lots of fakes and lots of changes to the last second with 15 seconds remaining, rotating back to the other bomb site here just to make sure that he's nothing to do with the situation. He knows he needs to be part of it when they finally commit, and he's taken his teammates' information, and it's so far so good for FaZe in that department. But Simple, 11 kills now. looking a lot stronger. We'll see if round number 20 is where he can really show us what he can do on Inferno, as Guardian has stole the show in the first half. It's like Olaf is back on the server now, so we'll be back underway momentarily. NaVi 1 round away from tying this one up. Inferno used to be a bit of a specialist map for them. Not as powerful these days, but still strong in their map pool.
Yeah, it certainly is. I keep in mind as well for FaZe, there used to be a bit of stubbornness within this map pool where Nico is bringing out a double op, and it... Not that he's... Look, he's capable of everything in any situation, but unfortunately in that one, it seemed like he was almost being a little bit too aggressive at times with the op on B, and it cost them more than it gained, so... That's something to look out for if he goes for it, because he just gets caught off so much. He's forced off the new box. If they can overwhelm him, they can certainly exploit that. It's a French philosopher, Henry, who once said, the preoccupation with possession, more than anything else, is what keeps us from living freely and nobly. And if he gets too preoccupied on that op, perhaps he will be prevented from living freely and nobly.
Perhaps. Time will tell, Matthew. It's very profound thoughts. We'll see if it's going to be enough there as we get into round 20. Guardian. Waiting for the initial grenades to come through. It's simple holds a T steps for anyone to challenge him. CT's not going to be going for that initial control by looks of things. They'll hold it at the top, and they're not pushing right down. It's Nico the M4 at this juncture. We'll see him working with Dren is going to be the new combination that's allowing them to win that side of the map. You're absolutely right. It was a B side of this CT half. There was always a bit of a letdown for them when the double orbs came out. It felt like he couldn't perform the same level he could with the rifle.
Yeah, it seemed like stylistically he wanted to play aggressive and take repeats as if he had a rifle, and he couldn't. He couldn't get the spray downs. He was getting overwhelmed. He was getting caught out too often.
One thing we should point out, just before we get into that FaZe are not using a single AUG on their CT side right now. They've got all M4s along with the AW.
It's actually a very good point, because it's been quite vocal from Nico on social media that he does not like the weapon. He does not want it in the game. It's quite like Scream. And you know what? Cool. That's fine. You may not like it, but to quote more philosophy and quote Darwin, it's not the strongest nor the smartest who survives. It's those who adapt. And if you can't adapt to it, you're just not going to survive at this level. So bring out the AUG might be the answer. We'll see if that's what haunts them. Within one, this great start they've had, slowly falling away, and Simple on the repeat from the half wall. He's going to find Nico through the smoke. Again, aggressive. Rain's forced out. Remember, they already found a Dren on this side, but Rain, he knows exactly how smoke clouds work. He fires through them always, and he gets 2 kills. Edward, he will at least get 1 back, but Flamey's cut off, and they know he's alone in the site now. Alone, but aggressive, and look how relaxed he is. Yeah, all right, I know you're coming. Let's see who wins the fight. He's got to hold the angle. He's got to wait for them to go, and if they try and trade this together, it is an op for Guardian. That could certainly be a problem for them. It's not going to be. Olaf gets it instead.
Finally, the first round on the board there for FaZe in their CT campaign. It comes down to the 2 versus 1, but they handle it very well indeed. Edward maybe had to be a little bit more dramatic there in his hold. It was a pretty common position. Olaf comes in and pre-fires him there. You're right, though. If Olaf did go down, the trade of the orb was going to be very difficult, but they stuck together. I'm sure Guardian could have handled that as they get into round number 21. It's 11-9 overall, this time in favor of FaZe. That would have been 10-10. There's Rain, though. He's put on such a show today. Really impressive performance. It was a slow finish to 2018 for him. But on his feet now for sure. AK's out in full force for Nartis Vincere. They have all the grenades they need. They did win 4 rounds in a row on the T side, so they're comfortable for a couple more.
Double Molotov, one thrown from either side. They've passed each other in the air. Oh no, they're gonna push through it a Dren. Great timing. That's a change of play. You wanna talk about the B side? Sure. You can talk about the fact that Kerrigan was there with Nico. Now you've got a Dren. That's a change in itself. And sure, you could argue who's got more firepower. I'd probably lean toward a Dren. Lean toward Kerrigan naturally for tactics, but it's just even changing a person. If they're the same in every way, they're gonna be slightly different in their positioning at the very least. And that could be enough to catch teams off. Rain falls off the box, he has to. Lost his vision. Guardian has not. He's not lost his nerve either. Inside the site, tight position behind the boxes, and he's going to look for it again, nearly so hyper-focused that he shot toward his teammate, but it's Olaf that stands tall inside of the pit, 2 to find. Bomb down on the balcony, and really nothing to do for Electronic. So FaZe regaining the ground, starting to get the momentum sailing on the CT side as well as they get to 12.
NaVi changing the pace completely for round number 21 there. This time focusing their efforts towards the A side of the map. You can see the smokes down Not completely though. Looks like they're missing a smoke grenade towards that pit position. I thought they were just focusing towards the broken wall position, but Olofmeister either way had an open shooting gallery at that stage. NaVi were hoping maybe 3 players went towards the B side of the map. They could get in towards A very quickly and just completely shut down the economy of FaZe at the reset. It doesn't happen. And now they are going to buy into this round, but there's certainly going to be compromises. They'll take the tactical timeout. It's their 3rd so far of this game. This is the best of 3, remember. The first map, though, indicative as to where it'll go. We thought it was FaZe running away with this, but NaVi showing their Inferno is still very strong indeed on the T side. Win both pistols courtesy to back-to-back aces from Flamey and pistol rounds. I don't think I've ever casted that in my life. I've never seen it before.
I've seen back-to-back aces in back-to-back rounds, but not in 2 pistols specifically.
Exactly.
That's insane, to be honest. Like, especially because it's not like he had the USP on for all 5 on the other side. He started with a Glock.
Yep. Pretty unreal. They end up losing this game, and that's what the start they had on either half. They'll be gutted, but still, Flamey, very impressive stuff. Zeus, as we mentioned, commonly found towards the bottom of Banana, and this time Guardian will be boosted on the pallets for that first kill. Not going to get it. Opts to fall back. This is a huge, huge round here. Not only will FaZe find the 13th round, they'll shut down the money as Zeus starts to burn. He's at 14 HP. He's going down for sure. He somehow sneaks away. 1 bullet would have dropped him there, but he does survive for now. We've got the CZ. Settle 5 on 5.
Flash. Nico off the angle. Admittingly, he'll go back out and look for more. So the smokes off the one in the pit they want to find. Edward very vocal. He's calling timings, it seems. They're going to work off of him. He wants them to get him out of the boiler. He wants the shallow smoke so he can peek. Is there enough of a gap? Meanwhile, Arch side, Simple goes. It's rather optimistic at times. They've taken advantage of that. The fact that he sprayed in so aggressively, that's Rain's invitation to go back to the Cutty, because if they thought it was clear, it's not. Oh, HP!
Oh,
he ran out of ammo! He couldn't find it! Zeus got out, the spray got wild! And it is NaVi gone wild inside of the site, because bombs should be planted momentarily. It's picked up again by Edward. Guardian still toward Moto. It's a double op retake as well. This could be a huge problem. 2 kits. Nico doesn't have one. Guardian and Adren do. And Adren is on the move from top middle. They'll come from all approach, all angles. Guardian even going back to clear to make sure that no one got behind him in library.
Yeah, this is way too tentative now. They might consider this not going for this at all, but still, there's plenty of time left on the bomb. It's just a double AWP on the retake that scares me for them. It's a 3-on-3, but Zeus somehow still alive in this round, gets his 2nd. He was taken down to 14 HP at the start, but goes on to win 2 more duels, and that's surely the round victory for NaVi now as a sneaker trying to lock them in on the bomb site. Electronic will be found by Adren, and still valuable kills here. They kill absolutely everyone. Sure, NaVi take the round victory, but FaZe will still be thinking they can take this in the next round. They've really hindered the money going forward.
Absolutely. It's only 2 rounds they won in a row, remember, so their money isn't great either, but yes, you're absolutely right. NaVi's isn't going to be at all, so they'll buy into this, and if they lose now, you give FaZe 13 rounds plus 1. I say plus 1, it's a hypothesis, in theory, right? We're hypothesizing that they would then win the anti-eco, presumably.
Well, we get into round 23. And the reason, the significance of the double AWP there is because that is not a close-range weapon. You cannot be nimble with it. You can't be agile. So yes, it's great for getting the opening picks, but if you don't get those, you have to walk into the bombs of the AWP. Chances are the rifles or even the pistols will have the advantage. So whenever we see that sort of setup in a 3v3 like that, you're always saying, well, they might as well consider saving this point, because unless you get some sort of miraculous sequence come through, it's unlikely you actually win this round. As we will take a tactical timeout. This time it's for FaZe. See Yanko riding up the troops. Guardian still has his AWP. Adren has the AK-47. This could decide the outcome of the game here. This goes 13-10. It's double eco territory for NaVi, and they don't have the time to do that. So they'll bring together Galils and AKs. Remember, after losing all 5 players of the previous round, yes, they won it courtesy of the bomb explosion, but that's only $3,500 per player going to the next round. Zeus with UMP, Edward and Flamey with Galils, just so they have a little bit of utility going forward here. Very difficult round for them. Can they do anything with it?
Flash high, Zeus. He'll swing off of it just to check. Doesn't actually go all the way around. Double nade. The first one actually bounced into Cubby. Didn't do anything to him. Second one certainly left more than just a scratch.
We should note as well, this is actually FaZe's picking the best of 3. We move on to Mirage next, which is NaVi's. But if you're NaVi right now, that map ball is actually looking very good for you.
Well, this is the other thing. There is a slight caveat on that. Yes, this looks great. You're in this game. Mirage is absolutely their choice. We know Simple loves it. Dust, too. We saw these guys in London now 3 weeks ago. It's crazy how fast time flies. In the shape-up event for this, it was a showcase event, 4 teams only. They actually didn't win it. North did. And the reason for that is because they said they've been working Dust too. They brought it into the best of 3 in that series, they lost it, and then Nuke was next, and it left them with little options. So sometimes that happens. You bring in a new map, and it just falls a little short. So that's the 3rd map. We'll see if it shows that they've been working on it still. That's if we even get that far. Nico behind Nubox. He'll flash himself off, but it's Zeus that gets through the smokes and finds 2 on the UMP. Rain has to back away already. That reset we talked about might not be happening.
I don't think the CTs even go for this now. That's Zeus getting on top of the first orange. You can jump up there yourself, and he found 2 players on entry with the UMP of all the weapons. That's the one that does it. He picks up an AK-47 now. What a brilliant round from him. He managed to get 2 kills in the round they won previously as well to actually get them access towards the A side. Now he cracks open B as well, showing us that he still has the moves to cause a massive amount of impact there. Fantastic work. It will be a 5-on-3, and Rain, Guardian, Olaf have no choice but to save their weaponry. They're running low on cash now as well. That's just blown this game wide open. If FaZe won that round with a clean sweep, that would have been it. For me, that was GG. But NaVi, they're the ones that don't drop a single player, and they're hunting for a bit more here as well. They know they're isolated in the pit. They're going to flash in and let Simple at him.
Rain's got him, though. Certainly ready for that, standing on top of the bike. Goes off, but the round gone, low HP. Can't really justify going too far for this. Flamey gets 1 back. Certainly they want to keep the op up. Zeus holds on to it, and Olaf gets away with the only gun. NaVi is inching at them. They're all over it at this point.
Well, this stage, it's FaZe. They kept 3 players up there. Would have been fantastic. They actually dropped 2 and only 1 survives. They can't really force this one. They're going to have to take it on the chin and allow an eco to slip by here. But that's NaVi tying things up at 12-12 on FaZe's map pick. This is pretty remarkable. I wasn't sure NaVi had it in them after the 10-5 deficit they received in the first. I didn't think their T-side would be strong enough, but happy to be proven wrong. And this is looking fantastic now as Simple and Electrona go toe-to-toe with 4 members of FaZe towards the banana area. They then drop a single player. It's only Flame that goes down towards the A side. It's a great work from them. We have tied the scoreline up completely. And I believe FaZe, they can buy this. They've got about 4.5K per player, so they have enough to buy. And it's going to be far from ideal. Lovely work from Electrona there. The Glil just mows through players without the careful up. Round 25 comes in. Rifles only on the CT side. No AWP for Guardian.
He's going to the AUG instead. 2 AUGs, 3 M4s again. Nico, he's going to use that weapon. So too Olaf. Can't teach an old dog new tricks. Nico's not that old. Olaf's getting up there. That's the crazy part of this life cycle that we're in esports. Zeus gets damage inflicted upon him. So too does Nico, for that matter, though. He's on 68. Flash up. Nico caught. Gets back around in time, but Zeus was also blind. Couldn't peek it. There was a kill available to them if Zeus was more aware of the flash coming over the top. Simple going to be the one to try and open up the site. He'll make sure they don't retake banana, that's for sure. Just hold it off at this point in time. And a Molotov down, they might. He knows exactly what that Molotov means. The flash hinders his plans. Smart to hold. They won't go for the boost yet. Wouldn't surprise me at all if we saw Simple get elevated up onto the half wall, but he's actually elected to fall off it completely. He's at the bottom side of the banana. Bit of hesitation. Flamey's not really doing much toward the top side of A.
Notice that Adren and Nico, the players defending B, have no grenades between them. Defend off a full execution there. I say full, but it will just be the smoke towards CT spawn. It doesn't seem to be affecting them too much. It's going to be a back to 4 trade as now Zeus once again finding success upon the entries. The bomb's going down. Is this where NaVi take the lead?
Zeus is absolutely convinced of it. It might be. After the half we saw, they only won 2 gun rounds.
He was at 3 kills, I think, at the end of the
suppose.
half.
Absolutely, and again, I guess it was 3 gun rounds, but 10-5 at half on the CT side after a pistol start. Yeah, this is incredible turnaround. And again, we were sitting here thinking, hey, FaZe were geniuses. They brought out Inferno. Well, now you start to question why, because it's now 13-12 in favor of NaVi. 4 players staying alive again on their side. It's going to be only Guardian, saving an AUG and Olaf so far that are alive with the M4, and that should end that way. There's not really much aggression toward their positions. Edward isn't going to quite be able to make contact onto Olaf.
There we have it. NaVi will actually take the lead at this point on their T side, 13-12. Money is in the proverbial bin as well for FaZe. They don't really have enough to work with here. They got $3,000 per player. They do have saved rifles, so maybe they'll be persuaded to invest into this round, but that's when you start to open Pandora's box officially at that point. If you keep force buying and not getting much return on it, you can sabotage your own finances. You might just be better off taking the full eco here, seeing what the 2 rifles can do, and look to close things out in an efficient manner with the full buys here. But this is what these timeouts are for. Everyone will discuss their ideas, have their input, and what they want to do here. It's not looking too good, though, on the FaZe side of the equation as NaVi home in on 14 rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, this is exactly what they had to try and address. These leadership issues. Nico, just to point out, sits on 9, bottom of the table. Not where you'd expect to find him. Sure, superstars across the board for FaZe, but not at all where you'd expect to find him. So quick dilation is the only chance they'll have left. Timeout's over. Put it into action. Guardian, he'll hold toward the top side of Banana. AUG in hand, still waiting. The AWP, he's got to remember to hold the button down, not click once with that scope up in front of him.
See what Guardian can do here, completely flash. Nice sequence from NaVi that obtains information and real estate there. They've found out the Guardian, the saved rifles towards the B side of the map. They've pushed him right back here. They might potentially bait out some grenades as well as they throw a flash over. And they're going to fall back towards the A side of the map. It will be Nico and Olaf there with the M4 to defend. There's still a slight chance here as Edward will be throwing the Molotov in towards quad. Opts for his teammate to do it instead. Olaf is in one of those positions where he can go very, very well or horribly wrong, courtesy of one flashbang here. We'll see which way it goes for him now.
Nico holds off P250. Didn't quite get it done. Flamey showed some excellent patience to tap away with the AK and not get overcommitted to a spray in that situation. Off screen, Simple found Olaf. Electronic, he'll walk around. I don't know if he can check it. I was kind of thinking he was a little careless in that situation. But it doesn't matter because bomb goes down on the A site. Not really much that FaZe can do. So NaVi find 14. Again, timeout was called this round. Oftentimes you'll see it called out on a gun round, but see if they carry it over. See if they had some discussion about how to change it. We certainly saw a change on round 15 from NaVi that got them their 5th round by putting Simple solo anchor AWP on B. It might have to be something of that characteristic, something aggressive that's going to catch them off.
Still time though, not much of it, but it's there. This was an eco from FaZe. They'll have everything they need in the next round, especially these 2 rifles make it forward. But it's NaVi turning it around completely. 10-5 a half against him, and now they'll find themselves 14-12 in favor on the T side of Inferno. Pretty remarkable scenes here. It's FaZe with all to play for, but they made the correct decision, in my opinion at least, to take a more conservative approach there, allow the orbs to come out now and close this out with style. But Zeus is really feeling it. The calls are all coming together. He's hitting his shots. He's having massive amounts of impact upon entry. As we go to round number 27, NaVi with the wind in their sails. Will they purchase up the AWP once again? They absolutely do. Simple's got that. Up against Nico and Guardian. Remember, that's always been a bit of a talking point. Nico's not fragging this game. Might be feel more comfortable with the AWP. He's carrying 9 and 19. Quarterfinals here. Pressure is on. And they'll send 3 towards B at the start. Simple receives a few grenades here. The Flames won't touch it.
Oh,
that well though.
And touched very inappropriately by Nico's nade. Nico's got a follow-up as well. Electronic down 2 for him in the rounds. 1 by way of bullet on the AWP, and it's Electronic and Simple that'll watch from the sidelines. It'll still be a round at hand, even if they don't convert this. 5 in a row. It'll be reset potential. every gun down certainly helps. Edward shoulder peek toward the A site. That didn't go well for him. Rain didn't quite see the player coming in through the smoke as Flamey was there. But yeah, Zeus on an AWP, how often do you see that?
He just took down Nico in a one-on-one duel as well. That's remarkable. Gets the AK at this stage.
That's also remarkable. Switches out an op for an AK. Who else would do that? Gets the op pick and then says, yeah, I'll take the rifle.
Yeah. Well, he tried to cause some damage there. Almost got the second. Not going to work out for him. It's Edward with his 4 HP. Looks like he's going to save. 35 seconds. Quite an agonizing one. We get sort of time to dissect that round. It was Nico joined by 2 teammates there. They went for the grenade stack towards logs. That's where Simple resided. And at that point as well, he jumps up on the barrels, gets the second kill, and funnels them back towards middle, where Adren can start chiming in as well. Lovely work from FaZe. Not out of this just yet to be 14-13. That's locked in. Edward looking like he was going to save. He actually recovers the bomb and wants to make something of this. He can't plant at this point, so just seeing if anyone goes hunting for him. He needs to be careful. He needs to survive after the round timer expires or he gets no cash, but he still has 5k residual. He will survive either way. There's Yanko congratulating Nico on a very successful round. Needs to make sure he keeps his head in the game. Round 28, now he's still in the lead, 14-13.
One round, as I say, though, with the most important part of that lead in that one round is that they have a now 5-round reset that they could apply to FaZe. If they win this here, in this round, they go 15, and there'll be no guns for FaZe at all. So they have a chance to ultimately win it in this round. Likewise, they themselves have got some money carried over. Simple's got an op in the pocket. Edward would too after this round, so they'll be able to buy again. Then it gets quite desperate because you're tied up in the same situation to be flipped upon their head. Electronic starts it off. That's exactly what they want. Adren gets caught out outside of the flames, and Nico's tag going back into the site. They couldn't quite get enough damage onto him. He stays with 67 in the round, as Simple now will hold off. Quick check behind the bags by Zeus, and leaves Simple to his own devices, I think.
So they have 5 players up against 4. Flamey currently holding the A apartments for any sort of reaction down towards middle, or a push towards the ult mid position. They've got a minute remaining here. Does Flamey want to suggest they're coming back towards A with a bit of utility? Still has a smoke and Molotov here. They don't have to commit towards B, but question marks starting to appear as the CTs have lost a lot of information. You can see at the B site, no intel, no one at the barrels. Same story towards A, but now they've put Guardian position towards quad. At least we'll have some idea as to what's going on here. As NaVi make their way back towards the A side, the full commitment coming in here now. It'll be a 5-on-2 in terms of manpower, as Olaf Meister and Guardian have to fend them off.
Guardian's looking short as well. He's not actually watching above him. He's going to rely on Olaf for that information. And 3 will flood this site. Guardian smartly transitions back because if he was left on the steps, he'd have a problem. He doesn't now. He's got 2, a third as well. He finds Simple, but is that enough? All his hard work, it may come undone. Bomb still gets planted, and it's the 2 rotating players from B that arrive and have to save it for FaZe. Again, reset if this round doesn't go their way. Kits for both, AKs to work with, and a single flash.
Rain is there with the flashbang. Nico joins him. It's such a difficult retake here. The terrorists have such a massive advantage. The Molotov comes in. That's going to segregate them now. It's Rain that has to deliver. He goes down, and that's going to be it. That surely is the reset now. CT's winning the previous round, and losing this one means they get $1,400 per player in the next round. NaVi have found map points, and Nico with no choice but to save the AK-47. Guardian and all his heroics there towards the A site. It looked so good. It seemed like it was enough, but still, it's Zeus and Edward who will be claiming the round there. A difficult clutch, and it was testing even the strongest of players. Guardian, you thought that was enough, man. He's got to be gutted with that one.
Spectacular shots, no question about it. Stunning inside of the site, but again, it just wasn't enough. The bomb got planted. They got so overwhelmed, and the other 2 couldn't get anything done.
Remarkable scenes here. Tactical timeout by FaZe. They'll have to buy everything they possibly can here. We can have a look at a sneak peek, if you will. A UMP in the hands of Rain. It's not as bad as you might think. Nico still has the AK. He drops 1 weapon over. That's Guardian on the AUG. But Olaf Meister has to go in the shotgun. They now need 2 rounds in a row to take us to overtime. This is the pick of FaZe. Losing this one would be a disastrous affair. But they have to dig deep now and see what's available to them. Will they go for aggression here? Will they try and isolate one part of the map and challenge Zeus, who's been so prevalent towards the banana area? They've certainly got the skill in this team to make this round work, but NaVi really looking quite strong now.
Super strong at this point. What a turnaround as well. And I mean, I guess we've seen a bit of both teams in this series, and by that I mean both sides of both teams. We've seen ups and downs, poor CT sides on both fronts. Certainly the issues with Nico being on the in-game leading role, I certainly still bring that up. I think that's absolutely a problem for them. I think that's something they need to address. And NaVi with a slow start, Simple turns things around last round of the half, and then they get moving, they get motivated. Zeus, I have to say, as you pointed it out, great second half. 4 kills, he's now up to 12, he's keeping up with everyone, but it's the trades. It's his ability to be irrelevant in the rounds.
I'm not worried about the number of frags for him, it's the fact he's having such impact with those frags. The few he's got in the second half have actually led to significant round victories that has broken the back of FaZe. This one, though, this is where it could all end, as Guardian goes down very early on. Simple and Zeus wrapping around. It's a shotgun and pit. They don't stand a chance here. Rain left with just an SMG. Surely can't get a second. It looks like we're done here in the first map. Nico left in a 4 versus 1.
And he's no bouquet, he's just a rose. And so much work to do. Rose has a few thorns on it. He'll find the first on Electronic, but Flamey now knows where he is. NaVi will steal the map away.